welcome to the taxi journey.
Hello. Hello, Edwin.
We're going to Norway on a 7-day cruise with Iona. We've got the most important person here.
Edwin.
Say hello to the camera. Got your passport?
Yes. And I laminated my pass.
I think we're ready to go then. So this is just us arriving at dock gate number 4 in Southampton and dropping the car off. Parking was included in our package, which means we just had to drive up to the terminal, hand the keys over to a CPS parking member, and then when we return, hopefully the car should be there waiting for us. We then made our way to the check-in counter to check in our bags and get our boarding passes. The entire process was very straightforward and it probably took about 20 minutes from start to finish. I finally made it to our room. If you're on floor 15, do not take the stairs because it's absolutely exhausting. But let me switch the camera around. So here's a quick room tour. We've got a little sofa area here. We've got 2 single beds. Pretty sure we asked for a double bed, but
Pretty sure we didn't ask for a double bed.
But it's definitely 2 singles. It doesn't even look like we can put them together, but not the end of the world. Little balcony area here. Oh, the door's heavy. Still in Southampton at the moment. Yeah. And then let's just check out the bathroom. The bathroom is actually bigger than what we were expecting, to be fair. Nice little shower. And yeah. I'm gonna go get some food now. What floor number did the guy say?
8.
Number 8.
Card that's in the door. We try and ask. Hello, 2 fish and chips, please. Fish and chips.
Sugar.
Oh my god, that is sugar. You always make me pour that over my chips. That's granulated sugar, so I trust you.
I would give the food a solid 8 out of 10, maybe? What would you give it?
8.
It's pretty good. After finishing our lunch, we took the opportunity to explore some of the rest of the boat before ending the evening with some dinner and some late night entertainment.
Day 1, we're leaving the room now. We're gonna go gambling. We're gonna go to Costa. We're gonna go to the art class, aren't we, Reese?
We are.
And then we are going to hit the pool, maybe the infinity pool, maybe have a drink, if I'm allowed.
In fact, she's got that all wrong. We're actually going to the casino to win some more money.
He won £9.90 and it's not on his account, so...
Now, I've never considered myself a gambling man. But yesterday we won it big in the casino, turned £20 into £30, so
Into £29.90.
I'm thinking to now turn that £30 into £300 and possibly even £3,000. Yeah. The dragon. I mean, look, it's not luck.
I think I've done it wrong.
Look.
Wow, oh my goodness.
So if I walk away now, we're now up £15. It cannot be luck.
I've won big!
Unfortunately, this winning streak was short-lived as we decided to play another machine and lost all of our money. Gabby then wanted to grab a Costa and shortly afterwards we headed downstairs for a katsu curry at the Keys restaurant. I actually thought the food was really nice, but by the look on Gabby's face, I don't think she was too impressed.
Hello, it's celebration night, so we're all dressed up with our drinks. Reese has got his best suit on, he looks like James Bond.
I am James Bond.
And I look like one of the girls that James Bond dates. We're about to go get some food and go for some drinks now, so we'll see you on the other side.
So this is us arriving at the port of Stavanger. We didn't have any shore excursions but for this port, so we just took a stroll through the town. It was really quiet and there wasn't much to do. We did see a hop-on, hop-off bus that takes you to some popular spots in the area, which, if we could go back in time, we probably would have done. But we'd certainly recommend booking an excursion or two for this stop. Day 4 of our cruise, we started the day with a full English breakfast before heading for a morning stroll into the town of Olden. So, we are now in Olden. We found this little secret spot. Yeah.
I think it's really nice, and I think it looks like what I thought Norway was going to look like.
It's very nice, still very quiet, very windy, but
quite pretty.
Very pretty.
Very, very cloudy though. Film these clouds, turn the camera around, film these clouds. Right up there. Looks like out of a film, doesn't it?
Yes, very cloudy.
Looks like Avatar but cold.
So we've made it to one of the most famous beaches in all of Olden. Obviously it's quite big, so it's hard to get it all in the shot.
I do feel like
Gabby, I didn't know that they made a model of you.
I really like how they got my nose right.
What have you bought, Gabby?
Got some trolls.
Some trolls. We still don't know the conversion of what Great British pounds are into krone. So, how much did you just spend?
425 krones.
425 krones, which equals, we're not sure yet, but I reckon
at least 25.
I reckon about £20.
£30, £40, we don't know.
Who knows? We will find out, to be continued.
Today, this sky lift, and the sign over there says it's one of the steepest.
For this stop, we had an excursion booked for a skylift, which is actually apparently one of the steepest skylifts in the world. Before making our ascent in the skylift up into the mountains, the tour guide takes you to some of the local rivers and viewpoints in the area, which, as you can see here, are absolutely breathtaking. The lift looks terrifying, but when you're inside, it's actually relatively smooth. Sadly, the weather wasn't on our side today, and the only thing we could see at the top was a giant, massive cloud. Nevertheless, it was still a fantastic experience, and there's also a restaurant at the top where you can sit down for a coffee or just enjoy some of the local food.
So we're going into the olive grove. Yum, yum, yum. Reese, what have you got? What is that? It's a gyros, a gyros. So we got this. Reese kept saying chippy to the waiter guy and he just looked so confused, so I had to tell him French fries. And I've got this chicken, which actually looks quite nice. Sweet chilli sauce. Ooh, I found the treasure. Just a few fresh cakeys.
So, it's day number 5 on our tour, and we've literally got to a town called Halslip, I think it's called.
Halslip?
Halslip. Don't know how to say it properly. But it's 8 AM and we've booked a rib ride, so we're about to go to that. I think it's a really small village, this, with fewer than 300 residents, so once we finish the rib ride, maybe we'll have a little walk around.
Hopefully we'll meet all 300 of the residents and interview them one by one.
Hopefully we'll meet at least a few of the residents and, yeah, see what's about.
Guiding, and you have some beautiful nature.
So what are we doing?
We're hiking to the top on a mission to find the king troll.
We're hiking to the top of this mountain.
To find the trolls.
3 people have come down, drenched in sweat.
2 broken legs, 5 broken fingers.
We don't know how long it takes. The boat leaves at 4 PM. It's now 11 AM. We've got a good 5 hours. Should be fine, as long as Gabby doesn't break her leg
Reece
on the
just
way up.
almost fell over.
Or get killed by a snake or a wild boar hunting the woods.
Only wild boar here is you.
So, we've been walking for approximately 45 minutes and we have come to one of these creepy looking wooden huts where the Witch of Norway lives. And if you knock 7 times on the door, she might come out and cast one of her spells on you.
And turn you into one of these mountain trolls.
And I heard she likes people with blonde hair. Blonde hair and blue eyes is specifically what she puts in her cauldron. Am I happy? Was it worth it? Let's see. Let's see, shall we? Was it worth the hour hike? Wow. I would say that it's pretty worth it. So we just finished the rib ride. Overall, I would say a solid 8 out of 10. Best excursion so far. What would you say, Gabby?
I was actually going to say an 8 out of 10 as well.
Yeah, 8 out of 10. It was really good. One thing I was curious of, and I was talking to Gabby about this, is why suddenly, as soon as someone goes on a boat, they start waving at random people. Never happens on any other mode of transport. It doesn't happen on the train, doesn't happen when you're walking in the street. But for some reason, as soon as someone's on a boat, people just start waving to each other. If I just started waving to some random stranger in the middle of the street, they'd be looking at me like, what the bloody hell are you waving at? If anyone knows the answer to that, let me know.
Reece has pulled out his best clothes for the occasion. He's got his classic black top with his black Timberlands. If you know Reece, you'll know this is a staple piece for him.
Our last point of call on our 7-day cruise to Norway was a place called Haugesund. We had no excursions booked for this stop, so instead we decided to start the morning with the usual Flingish breakfast, followed by a visit to the outdoor sports area and then a well-needed workout in the gym. We were actually really surprised at just how well equipped the gym was, and it's definitely got all of the weights and machines you need for a decent training session. To wind down, we wanted to try out the thermal spa on board the ship. It was about £40 each, but the facilities were really good, which included a sauna, jacuzzi, steam room and salt room. We did eventually head out from the ship to explore the town, but as I just mentioned, we didn't have any shore excursions booked, so there wasn't really much to see or film. In the evening, we went to one of the ship's entertainment shows called Festival in one of the theatres and ended the day with a lovely dinner in the Coral restaurant.
Since our departure from Haugesund yesterday until noon today, Iona has steamed a total distance of 305 nautical miles.
So today is our last day on the cruise ship. As we're heading back to Southampton, we thought we would do a honest review of what we think so far of everything we've experienced on the ship. So the rooms, we got a standard balcony sized room, really good size, bathroom really modern, the room itself really modern.
Good lighting in the bathroom.
Really good lighting, the balcony's great to have.
There's a sofa and there's the beds.
Yeah, there's a sofa, which is what we're sitting on at the moment. The television's really good, it has entertainment on board, so it's got tons of films that you can choose from. It doesn't have Netflix, but it's not, you don't really need it. Yeah, because there's so many films to choose from that it's fine anyway. So the actual onboarding process for the ship was really straightforward, super convenient. When you're on board, everything's super straightforward, very easy to find things. And when you get off to do all the shore excursions and everything like that, people are very helpful and it's all signposted, so that was really good. What's your experience on the service, the staff on the ship, and how you've been treated and everything like that?
The staff are really nice, they're really friendly. I feel kind of bad for them because I feel like some people, not everyone, but some people are quite rude to them. They get frustrated because they don't understand the English. Like, a lot of the staff on the boat aren't from England, they're from loads of different countries around the world. I think that might be because that it's cheaper for the cruise company to hire them, or they're the people that are happy to do the long contract work when they do like 9 months. I spoke to some people and they did like 3 tours or 4 tours, and it's for 9 months each time, so it's quite a long time to be away from home. Actually, my only complaint would be, and it's not really their fault, but it kind of goes back to them not being paid enough, is when we went to the spa, there was a lot of upselling from the staff.
True.
They really tried to sell you stuff.
Yeah, true.
Continuously tried to sell you stuff. It wasn't like, oh, you said no. They'll mention it like 3 to 4 more times during your treatment or after your treatment. Or like you could tell they were like planting seeds to then kind of at the end then ask you if you wanted to buy. And they didn't ask if you wanted to buy. They kind of made out like it was free and then try to get you to sign on your bill, and then only if you ask if it's what the price is, they then tell you. So just be careful if you go for a spa treatment.
One thing to mention is the elevators, which was an absolutely awful experience. I'm not sure if it was like poorly engineered or there's just too many people for the amount of elevators, but literally you find yourself waiting for like 5-10 minutes each time to go to different levels on the ship. So I don't know if it's just where we are on the ship or what happened, but everyone was getting stressed about the elevator situation, and where we're on floor 15, it's not really viable to walk up and down the stairs like
every time.
Like, you know, we did try and walk up and down the stairs as much as we could, but you know, like it's just a lot. So especially when you're like going back and forth constantly, I think it's an engineering issue. I mean, there must be a way for a lift to detect if, say for instance, like sometimes it actually happened a lot of times. We were pressing the button for the lift and the doors would open, it would be full. But like, why does the lift stop there? It must be able to tell the capacity of how many people are in a lift. There must be, in this modern day and age, there must be some sort of technology that can detect how many people are in a lift and whether to stop or not. Because that was what was causing a lot of the congestion. That the lifts were stopping, but it was full, and it was doing it to every single floor. So there must be a way, like, I'm sure there surely must be a way to stop that from happening.
Another thing actually we forgot to say about the food is that I don't know if someone told us this or we just assumed this, but we thought that all 4 restaurants, the Opal, the Pearl,
the Coral, and I think the Aqua,
we thought that it was different menus, but we discovered by day 3 that every single restaurant you go to has the same menu. So it doesn't really matter which one you go to, it's just where you're going to sit, but there's no difference. And the staff rotate between different places in the cruise ship, so you'll see the same staff in different places anyway. So that's something to bear in mind, isn't it?
Well, it's just a bit misleading because, like, when you book the cruise, you get, you know, it says 21 restaurants to choose from, but it's not really 21 different restaurants to choose from. It is in the fact that you're sitting in different places in different restaurants, but the menu is exactly the same. You're getting literally the same food at any of these restaurants. One really good thing about the cruise was, like, Norway obviously itself, and especially the shore excursions. We did a rib ride in Halslip, I think it was. That was really good, and we also did a hike there. What else did we do? What did we do the day before?
Oh, that was in Oldham. We did a sky lift.
But
when we got up to the top, there was loads of clouds. You couldn't see anything. But it was still an experience.
Yeah, it was still really good. I mean, the one thing I definitely would say is book shore excursions, because there isn't really that much to do in the towns other than kind of like walk around. So it's definitely worth paying extra for the shore excursions. And if you can, try and organise them yourself, because they'll be probably half the price than booking them directly with the cruise ship. We did book everything through the cruise ship just because it's convenience, but if you're trying to save some money or do it on the more budget friendly side, then definitely try and organise the trips yourself. There are a lot of people, like, when you get off the cruise ship, selling you the same stuff for like discounted prices, so something to consider.
Right, so pro number 1 was going to Halslip. Halslip?
I think it's called Halslip. Something like that.
Halslip was so beautiful. We went through the fjords. Like, the boat goes through the fjords in the morning, and then me and Reese booked the rib ride, so we went through there, and the lady explained to us that she lives in the mountain. and that all the mountain farmers used to live there, and she was telling us history about the area and things that even happened like in the last year and interesting things about the area, which I thought was probably like the best thing we did. Pro number 2, even though the food wasn't amazing, there is different places you can eat. It's not like it's just one restaurant. And like, for example, I can just go upstairs now and get like a muffin, or in the middle of the day, or I can go have like a full course meal at any point in the day. So I do think that's quite good. Pro number 3, I don't know, I wouldn't really say it was a massive pro, but I like that there's like things to do on the sun deck. So at the top of the boat there's some games you can play. We played giant chess earlier. There's basketball, I think there's table tennis, which we've not got to play yet.
So 3 tips if you're coming on this cruise would be, number 1, definitely bring your own water on board, big bottles of water. We were going to, but we just thought because like you can get free water on board, we just didn't think it was worth it. But
I think it'd be such an issue, did we?
Yeah, and like, don't get me wrong, you can get free water on board. Like, there are water stations, but it's just an inconvenience. You've got to like.
Well, it is for people that drink a lot of water. Like
yeah,
us.
yeah, and like because the water refill stations are like, it's so small, you can't like put a big bottle underneath it. That it's just a bit of an inconvenience. But yeah, bring water on board. Number 1. Tip number 2 would be bring some smart clothes, because even though celebration night is obviously the formal night where everyone gets dressed up properly, even on the other evenings, like most people are dressed up smart, you know, a shirt, not necessarily a tie, but just kind of like smart formal. Definitely bring a few different outfits for that.
Yeah. If there's anything that you want to eat, like snacks wise, just bring it with you. We spent £10 on Maltesers earlier, and then £1 in Tesco's.
That is true, yeah. Bring snacks as well on board. Bring water, bring snacks, because snacks are super expensive, especially if you've got a sweet tooth and you like chocolate and sweets and things of that nature. It's so expensive on board. I literally just spent £10 on a sharing bag of Maltesers, so super expensive.
Yeah.
Tip number 3 would be to research ahead of time. So we didn't actually research that much, to be fair. We just kind of like got to each destination and saw what like, you know, was happening and just kind of like followed the other people. But I think if you really did your research ahead of time and knew exactly what activities to book, where to go, you know, what hikes and things to see, you would have definitely got a lot more out of it than we did. We had a great time. It was good, but I just think that we could have done more in these different places. And because like obviously the Wi-Fi and internet's limited on board, we didn't really have time to kind of do it on the ship. So yeah, definitely plan ahead of time your different excursions, and you know, and write down a list of things that perhaps you'd like to see in each of the different places you're visiting.
So it's not really a tip, but it's kind of something you just need to know, is before you get on board, you're able to connect one of your bank account cards, like a debit or credit card, to the card that they give you on board. So when you come on, they give you a plastic card that says your name, the name of the ship, your room number. What else did it say on it? And there's a barcode on it.
Yeah.
The card you need at all times. It's the only thing you need, like every single day. So the card is how you pay for things on the ship. They scan it and put it on a tablet, and then they know it's yours, and then any food you have to pay for or drinks you have to pay for will come off the card. Anything you buy in the shops will come off the card. The card is also how you get into your room, and it's kind of like your ticket for the ship. So if you leave the ship, they'll scan you to say you've left as a body count, and then they scan you back on so they know you've got back on board. It's also like you show the people before you can even get near the boat to say that you're part of the cruise.
Yeah, it's essentially your identification.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get on the boat without it. You don't need a passport actually to leave or get on the boat. You literally just need that card.
Yeah.
So overall, I think that, you know, it was a good experience. Definitely, obviously different for what we usually do. This is the first cruise we've ever been on. And yeah, it's a good experience overall.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that it was exceptional, but it was definitely good, and I definitely would do it again. Maybe not this exact cruise to this exact, you know, the exact ports, but
Yeah, maybe somewhere hotter.
Maybe somewhere hotter, yeah. But overall, it's definitely good, and would definitely recommend it for anyone looking to
get
away to Norway. So yeah, thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or anything like that, just drop them in the comments and we'll hopefully get back to you. Thank you very much.